few weeks ago, my fella said to me, he said, your day-to-day is busier than mine. He said, do you want me to go and do a quick food shop? And I said, oh, that would be amazing, thanks very much. I said, I'm only here for a couple of days, so don't get loads in. He said, just give us a list. So I said, great. So I made him a list, off he went. When he came back in, he said, I managed to get everything off the list apart from one thing. I said, that's great, thanks very much. I started to unpack the bags, put them in the cupboard. And I said, what was the thing you didn't manage to get? He said, I didn't manage to get you any avocados. I said, oh, that's all right, don't worry about that. He said, so I bought you some pork pies instead. I said, I wish you worked for Tesco Home Delivery. We've run out of celery, so we've given you a Swiss roll. But he said the best thing about them, he said, they're whoops pork pies. I said, I don't know what that means. He said, they're whoops pork pies. He said, they're going to run out. We'll have to eat all 6 of them before we go to bed. Yes. But you know those cookie shops on the high street where you can get the normal sized cookies, but you can also get the bigger sort of celebration ones? He bought me one of those, celebration one, a few years ago for part of my Christmas present, and it was smashing. I was unexpected, it was great. And I opened the box and I said, this is a great present, this is excellent. He said, oh, I'm glad you like it. It was all iced, Merry Christmas, Sarah with kisses on. He said, I'm glad you like it. He said, there's only one drawback. And I'm looking at a cookie that's bigger than me head, thinking, there's no fucking drawback. He said, there's only one drawback, it only lasts 5 days. I said, it's like you don't know me at all. He said, you didn't let me finish, it only lasts 5 days, and I bought it 4 days ago. He said, stop your fucking chatting and get the kettle on then. That's not a present, love. That's a challenge. I think most people at Christmas, pretty much everybody in this room, will get one slightly shitty Christmas present, just slightly shitty Christmas present, usually for somebody who doesn't know you very well. And you look at it and you think, how did they? Why did they? What the fuck is a pomander? Now, last Christmas, my shitty Christmas present was off my fella. Exactly. And it was a long-handled metal shoe horn. Your guess is as good as mine. Now, if you get your shitty Christmas present off your Auntie Brenda, you have to go, thanks very much, Auntie Brenda. I'll be able to put my shoes on from a great height now. But the joy of it being off your partner is you're allowed to go, what the fuck is that? Which is what I did. And he said, you asked for it. I said, no, I bloody didn't. And this is where I found out something quite adorable about my fella. All year round, whenever I mention something like, fancy that DVD, I might get myself that book, he makes a note of it in his phone. And when it comes to Christmas or birthdays, he picks a couple of things off the list and he buys me them as presents, which I just think is adorable. But it did mean that when I said to him, when did I ask for a long-handled metal shoehorn? He said, August the 8th. At 8 p.m. The only possible scenario I can think of where this might have happened is maybe I was trying a dress on that was a little bit too tight, and to try and make myself feel better and laugh it off, I said something like, ooh, could do with a shoehorn to get into this. And instead of giving me the cuddle that I clearly fucking needed, he made a note of it in his phone. Shoehorn, that's what she wants.